The alien commanders stood in a half circle around the human soldier, Rylan, their cold eyes filled with something between amusement and pity. Rylan already knew what this mission was. He knew the aliens were not sending him to win. They were sending him to disappear. It was a suicide mission, and everyone in the room knew it. General Krasith stepped forward. His voice was sharp like metal scraping stone. "Human, a creature has escaped into the wild zone. It has killed 40 of our soldiers. You will go and eliminate it." Rylan kept his face calm. "Just me?" The aliens exchanged looks, quiet laughs, soft grins, confident smirks. Krasith nodded. "Yes, only you. You humans have good instincts. Maybe they will help you survive for a few minutes." Rylan understood the real reason. The aliens didn't respect humans. They saw humans as weak, short-lived, emotional creatures. Sending him alone wasn't strategy, it was mockery. Still, Rylan saluted. "I'll get it done, sir." The aliens chuckled as he turned away. They thought they had already seen his last day. Rylan stepped out of the metallic fortress and stared at Titan III's wild zone. A thick, endless jungle stretched out before him. It was dark even during the day, covered with sharp vines, giant trees, and strange glowing plants. The air carried a low hum, like something big breathing far away. He adjusted his backpack, checked his knife, and stepped forward. The forest swallowed him instantly. Inside, it was worse than he expected. Every 5 steps, something moved in the shadows. Small lizard-like creatures ran across branches. Strange fog crawled along the ground. The deeper he walked, the more the silence changed. It wasn't peaceful. It was waiting. As if the forest expected him. Rylan had 2 thoughts in his mind. 1. The alien commanders wanted him dead. 2. He refused to die for their entertainment. He kept walking. Hours passed. The sunlight disappeared under the thick leaves. Rylan felt like he was being watched. He looked up, down, left, right, but saw nothing. Then he heard it. A deep sound. A growl so low it almost felt like the ground was vibrating. Rylan froze. He slowly crouched and pointed his flashlight at a tree. His eyes widened. The bark had long, deep cuts, each one almost the length of his arm. They weren't scratches. They were claw marks, fresh ones. The creature had been here. Not long ago. He touched the bark. It was still warm. Rylan exhaled slowly. "So, you're close." He pushed deeper into the forest. The temperature dropped, the mist thickened, and the smell changed. Old blood mixed with wet earth. Rylan raised his rifle carefully, scanning the tall grass. A sudden thump echoed. Then another dot, then another. Heavy steps. Rylan's pulse quickened. The sound was coming closer, too slow and too heavy to belong to anything small. Something was pushing trees aside as it moved. Branches cracked. Leaves shook. Shadows stretched and twisted. The thumping got louder. Thump, thump, thump. Rylan aimed forward, but his hands did not shake. He had lived through war. He had fought things worse than nightmares. But this felt different. The creature stopped moving. Silence. Then a voice crackled through the communicator in his ear. It was an alien technician from the base, speaking nervously. "Human, we are detecting massive movement near your location. It matches the beast's energy signature. You need to leave," Rylan whispered. "You sent me here alone. I don't get to run." The communicator went quiet. Suddenly, the trees in front of him bent outward as something huge pushed through them. The forest seemed to hold its breath, and then the beast appeared. It was enormous, bigger than any tank Rylan had ever seen. Armored. Plates covered its skin like dark metal. 4 glowing red eyes stared directly at him. Its jaws were lined with sharp, bone-like blades. Its breath came out like hot steam. The creature growled, shaking the air itself. The alien technicians watching through tiny drones screamed on their screens. "He's dead! He's dead! Retreat now!" But Rylan didn't move. The beast stepped closer. The ground trembled under its weight. It lowered its head, sniffing the air. Sniffing him, Rylan slowly lowered his weapon. If he fired first, he would die. If he ran, he would die. If he froze, he would die. So he did something the aliens would never expect. He talked to it. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said calmly. "Let's just understand each other." The beast tilted its massive head. It blinked slowly, confused. Rylan noticed something on its shoulder, something glowing, metallic, sharp. A huge shard was stuck deep inside its flesh. Blood dripped around it. The creature wasn't just dangerous. It was injured. And in pain. The beast growled again, louder. This time, but Rylan didn't step back. "Someone hurt you," he whispered. "Not me." He reached out his hand slowly, gently, as if trying to touch a wild horse. The creature growled but didn't strike. Rylan's fingers came close to its skin, closer, and finally touched it, warm, trembling, alive. The alien commanders watching from the base couldn't believe what they were seeing. The human touched it? That's impossible. He should be dead right now. But Rylan kept his hand there. "Easy. I'm not your enemy." For the first time since landing on Titan III, the beast didn't roar. It simply stared at him, and the jungle went silent. This was the beginning of something the aliens never expected. A suicide mission that would change everything. The forest around Rylan stood perfectly still, as if nature itself was waiting to see what would happen next. The giant creature's breath came out like smoke, spreading warm mist in the cold air. Its red eyes glowed like burning coals, watching the human who dared stand so close. Rylan didn't move. His hand rested gently on the beast's wounded shoulder. He could feel the heat of its pain, the slow tremble under its armored skin. The beast could crush him in 1 second, but it only watched. For several long moments, neither of them moved. It felt like the entire forest held its breath. Then something unexpected happened. The beast lowered its head, not in attack, not in anger, but almost in confusion, as if no one had ever touched it without fear before, as if no one had ever shown it even a small moment of kindness. Rylan slowly took his hand back. The creature raised its head again, letting out a low rumbling growl. Threatening but questioning. Rylan whispered, "Easy. I'm still here." The alien technicians watching through the small surveillance drones were screaming into their microphones. "Human, step back. It will kill you. Leave now. We're sending backup." "No, way backup won't reach you." But Rylan ignored them. He took one careful step to the side, circling the creature, trying to understand it better. The beast followed him with its eyes, but not with its claws. It simply turned its huge head, tracking his movement. Rylan noticed something new. The beast wasn't snarling. It wasn't bracing to attack. It was breathing heavily, struggling to stay standing. The wound was deep and infected. Suddenly, the creature let out a roar so powerful that a flock of alien birds exploded out of the trees. The ground shook. Leaves fell like rain. Rylan dropped to one knee from the shockwave, but the roar wasn't aimed at him. It was a cry of pain. The metal shard in its shoulder pulsed with strange blue energy alien technology. It must have been fired from a high-power plasma cannon. The creature's own body was fighting against it, causing the beast agony. Rylan clenched his fists. "So that's why you're angry. They attacked you first." He stepped closer again. But this time, the beast didn't growl. It didn't even flinch. It allowed him to approach something no alien soldier had ever succeeded in doing. Rylan inspected the shard more closely. The edges were sharp and glowing. Removing it could kill the beast, or save it, but there was no other choice. "All right, big guy," Rylan whispered. "Trust me just a little." He placed one hand on the beast's shoulder to steady it. With the other hand, he gripped the metal shard. The creature tensed. Muscles bulged. Eyes flashed bright red. "Easy," Rylan whispered again. "This will hurt." He pulled. The shard didn't move. He pulled harder. Sparks flew. Blood dripped onto the forest floor. The beast roared not at Rylan, but from the sheer pain. Trees shook. A shock wave of dust blasted outward. But still, it didn't attack him. The alien commander watching through the drone turned pale. "This is impossible. The beast is allowing the human to stay alive?" Rylan set his jaw and pulled one last time with every ounce of strength he had. The shard ripped free. The creature's roar tore through the forest like thunder. Birds fled. Small animals burrowed into the earth. Even the surveillance drone shook. Rylan stumbled backward, holding the glowing shard in his hand. His arms burned and his ears rang, but the beast didn't kill him. It didn't attack. Slowly, painfully, it lowered itself onto its front legs, bowing its head toward him. Its red eyes dimmed into a soft, calmer glow. It was thanking him. The alien base went silent. No one spoke. No one breathed. Their screens showed something they had never imagined in their lives. A human, standing safely beside the deadliest creature on Titan III. Then something even more shocking happened. The beast moved closer and pressed its massive head gently against Rylan's chest, like a giant wounded animal seeking comfort. Rylan froze. "Are you trusting me?" The creature gave a low, soft rumble. Not anger, not threat, something like acceptance. Rylan touched its head slowly. "All right," he whispered. "You're not my enemy, and I'm not yours." The forest, once loud and violent, now felt strangely calm. Even the wind seemed gentler. This was no longer a hunt. It was the beginning of a bond the aliens had never seen and would never believe. Rylan stood in the silent forest, the giant beast breathing slowly beside him. A few minutes ago, this creature could have crushed him with one swipe. But now, it was calm, almost gentle, as if it had accepted Rylan's presence. The alien commanders, watching from their base, were speechless. No alien ever got this close. This should be impossible. What is the human doing? But Rylan wasn't listening to any of them. He was thinking fast. The wound on the beast's shoulder was bleeding heavily. Dark red blood dripped onto the moss. The creature shook sometimes, fighting the pain. If it collapsed, it might die. If it died, the alien commanders would send strike drones to wipe out everything around. Rylan clenched his fists. "I can't leave you here. Not like this." The beast raised its head slowly, as if trying to understand his words. Rylan took a deep breath. This was crazy. This was stupid. This was probably the most dangerous idea any human ever tried. But he had made his choice. He stepped closer and put his hand on the beast's side. "We're going to move. I need to take you somewhere safe." The beast growled softly, not in protest, but in exhaustion. Its massive legs trembled from the pain and blood loss. Rylan pulled out a small medical spray from his belt. Human tech, simple but effective. He sprayed the wound. The liquid sizzled as it touched the creature's skin. The beast jerked, roaring upward into the sky, shaking branches loose. Rylan didn't step back. He raised both hands. "I know it hurts. Stay with me. Stay steady." Slowly, the beast relaxed again. The alien engineers monitoring the cameras Couldn't believe it. He's healing it? With that primitive human medicine? That creature's biology is far too complex. But the impossible kept happening. Rylan needed a plan. Fast thought, he looked around the forest. The towering trees, the thick mist, the glowing plants. Somewhere inside this jungle, there must be a place the beast always used for rest. Animals this big always had hidden dens. He followed the blood trail backwards, deeper into the forest. Come, he said softly, tapping the beast's leg. The creature blinked. Then it followed him like a giant guardian, even though every step shook the ground. Rylan walked ahead, carefully scanning the terrain. He found crushed grass, broken branches, signs of the beast's earlier path. The forest air grew thicker, warmer. Strange glowing roots covered the ground. Finally, he found it. A massive stone arch covered in vines, leading to a dark cave. This is where you live, Rylan whispered. The creature let out a deep, tired rumble. Yes. Rylan stepped inside first, scanning the cave for threats. They were old bones, but they looked ancient. No fresh danger. All right, big guy. Let's get you inside. The beast crawled forward, its large body filling the cave entrance. Inside, the ground was soft and slightly warm. A perfect resting place. Rylan turned toward the creature and saw it slowly lowering itself, trying not to fall hard. It winced from pain. Its breath came in heavy waves. Rylan hurried to its side. Hey, stay with me. Don't sleep yet. He pulled out another medical tool, one designed for human field injuries. A small needle with glowing blue serum. The beast looked at the needle and growled uncertainly. Rylan shook his head. No, it's not a weapon. This will close the wound. Just hold still. With courage that even he didn't understand, Rylan pressed the serum injector against the creature's armored skin. The beast flinched. Rylan gritted his teeth. Trust me, please. The creature stared at him, red eyes dim but focused. Then it relaxed again. Rylan injected the serum. The wound hissed and began to seal slowly. The bleeding weakened. The beast let out a long, low exhale, almost like relief. Rylan stepped back, breathing hard. That's it. You're safe now. The creature's eyes blinked slowly. It lowered its massive head to the ground, resting its jaw next to Rylan's boots, but not touching him. Just close enough to show trust. For a moment, Rylan forgot. The dangerous mission, the alien generals, the forest, the fear. He felt a strange connection with this impossible creature, a causable creature, a kalika, a kankame. Connection no alien had ever earned. The communicator in his ear crackled. Human Rylan, why have you stopped pursuit? You must kill the beast. That is your mission. Rylan didn't answer. He stared at the creature, no longer a threat, no longer an enemy, more like a living being who never deserved to be hunted. Rylan finally spoke, voice low and calm. I'm not killing it. The commander shouted, furious. The creature is a threat to our colony. You must obey orders. Rylan looked down at the huge beast resting beside him, and he said something no alien expected a human to say. If you want this creature dead, you'll have to come kill it yourself. The alien base went silent. The forest went silent. Even. The beast looked up, its eyes glowing softly, understanding the human had chosen to protect it. And for the first time, Rylan wasn't alone. He had a giant ally. Asterisk. The cave was quiet except for the slow, heavy breaths of the giant beast resting beside Rylan. Soft light from glowing blue roots along the walls lit the space like gentle stars. For the first time since entering the wild zone, Rylan felt the air lose its sharp fear. The creature was no longer a hunter, no longer a danger. It was something different now. It was calm. Rylan sat down near the creature's head, not touching it, but close enough. to show he wasn't afraid. The beast's massive red eyes watched him slow blinks, tired but softer than before. The alien commanders continued shouting through the communicator. "Human, you disobeyed a direct order. You must terminate the creature immediately. Send us video proof of the kill." Rylan pressed 2 fingers against his ear and turned the device off. The cave fell into full silence. He didn't want their voices, their fear, their anger. Right now, he only wanted the creature to rest. He stood up slowly and walked toward one side of the cave. He found a large pool of glowing water, shimmering with minerals. He dipped his hands in. The water was warm, clean, perfect for cleaning wounds. He filled his canteen and walked back to the beast. "I'm going to clean the wound," he said quietly. "Don't panic." The creature sniffed the bottle, recognized the scent, and lowered its head again. Trust. Rylan poured the glowing water gently across the sealed wound. The beast winced, claws scratching lines into the stone floor, but it didn't roar. It didn't strike. It simply breathed harder, forcing itself to stay still for the human who had helped it. Rylan whispered, "You're strong. Stronger than any creature they faced." The beast let out a low rumble, something that almost sounded like a reply. Rylan smiled. He sat down beside the creature, leaning his back against its massive shoulder. Its warm breath touched his arm like a slow gust of wind. For a moment, the war outside didn't matter. A few minutes passed before something strange happened. The beast moved. Not sharply, not aggressively, slowly. It shifted its body and brought its huge head closer to Rylan. Then it did something no alien soldier had ever seen in the surveillance footage. It nudged him softly, gently, like a massive animal showing affection. Rylan blinked. "You're thanking me?" The beast lowered its head again, pressing its forehead lightly against his knee. Then it let out a deep, soft sound, almost like a purr, but low and powerful, vibrating through the cave walls. This was the moment the drone watching them captured the impossible. A human, comforting the galaxy's deadliest creature. Suddenly, the cave shook. Rylan jumped to his feet. The creature's eyes burst open. The ground trembled again. Dust fell from the cave ceiling. Then he heard it. Footsteps. Heavy. Multiple. Metal. Uniformed. Aliens. A squad. Rylan clenched his jaw. The commanders weren't going to wait for him to obey. They sent soldiers to finish the creature, and maybe him. The beast struggled to stand, but Rylan raised his hand quickly. "No, stay down. You're injured." The beast let out a frustrated growl but obeyed. Rylan stepped toward the mouth of the cave, knife in hand. He didn't have many weapons left. Just his knife, a half-charged smoke grenade, and courage that made no sense. Outside, shadows moved. 6 alien soldiers appeared through the mist, their armor glowing, rifles aimed at the cave. The leader shouted, "Step aside, human. We have orders to eliminate the beast." Rylan didn't move. He stood tall at the entrance, walking the path. "You're not killing it." The aliens aimed their rifles. "You dare protect it?" This creature destroyed entire patrol units. Rylan shook his head. "It attacked because you heard it first." One soldier fired a warning shot, blasting a chunk of rock near Rylan's shoulder. Rylan didn't flinch. He pointed behind him. "It's wounded, exhausted. If you shoot now, it won't defend itself." The alien commander sneered. "Good. That makes our job easier." They stepped forward, but then they stopped. Something massive moved in the darkness. 2 red eyes appeared behind Rylan, glowing brighter and brighter. The alien soldiers froze in fear. The beast, using the last of its strength, pulled itself halfway upright. It placed its huge body between Rylan and the soldiers, shielding the human. The soldiers stepped back. "What? Why is it protecting the human?" The beast growled, a warning so deep the air vibrated. Rylan placed a hand gently on the creature's leg. "Easy. I won't let them hurt you." The soldiers stared, completely confused. This is wrong. The creature is bonding with him. That's impossible. No human can tame something like that. Rylan stepped forward again, raising his knife, not to attack, but to defend. "You want to kill it?" he said. "Then you'll have to get through me." The alien squad hesitated. For the first time in their lives, they were afraid of a human dot, and beside that human stood a monster, bigger than all of them. No longer an enemy, but a guardian. The alien squad stood frozen outside the cave, staring at the human who refused to step aside, and the beast standing behind him like a living mountain. No soldier had ever seen such a thing. The creature was feared across 5 alien colonies, yet here it was, lowering its head protectively behind a human. The leader raised his rifle again. "Human, step away. We will fire." Rylan didn't blink. "You shoot, and the creature will defend itself. And trust me, you won't survive that." The beast growled a low, rumbling thunder. Trees shook. The alien soldiers instinctively staggered back. The commander hesitated. "No creature bonds with humans. This is unnatural." Rylan stepped forward. "You heard it. I helped it. That's the difference." Before the aliens could answer, the beast moved. It pushed past Rylan, using its huge body to block the tunnel entrance. With a single swing of its massive tail, it smashed 2 alien rifles into pieces. Weapon fragments flew across the forest floor. The alien squad panicked. "Fall back, fall back, fall back." The soldiers retreated into the trees, disappearing into the thick fog as the beast roared after them. The sound tore through the forest like a storm. Slowly, the beast lowered its massive head toward Rylan. Its eyes had softened, the violent red glow now replaced with a calmer amber light. Rylan touched the creature gently. "You protected me." The beast responded with a deep grunt that vibrated through the ground. Rylan looked out into the jungle, knowing more soldiers would come soon, and next time they wouldn't hesitate. They would bring cannons, drones, bombs. He had to move fast. He looked at the creature. "Can you walk?" The beast shifted its weight. Its injured leg trembled, but it stayed standing. It was still strong, still dangerous, but weak enough that Rylan could see the pain in every movement. Rylan took a breath. "We're leaving this place, together." The beast looked down at him again, understanding. Then it bent its head even lower, lowering its wide, armored back. Lowering and lowering until Rylan realized what it was offering. A ride. Rylan stared, stunned. "Are you serious?" The beast huffed impatiently, nudging him toward its back. Rylan laughed under his breath. "I guess that's a yes." He climbed slowly onto its massive shoulders, gripping the thick ridges of its armor-like skin. Even wounded, the creature felt like sitting on solid steel. When Rylan sat properly, the beast rose again, towering high above the ground. The entire forest seemed to hold its breath as the human rode the giant monster. "Let's go," Rylan whispered. The beast stepped forward, each foot leaving deep prints in the earth. Birds scattered. Small animals dove into burrows. The jungle parted around them, branches snapping under its weight. Deep in the alien base, the surveillance team watched in horror. The human is riding it. How can this be happening? No alien in history ever tamed a titan beast. A general slammed his fists on the table. "Send the hunter drones. Bring them down now." Drones launched from towers, swarming toward the forest. Rylan heard them before he saw them, the high-pitched hum of metal wings slicing through the air. He looked upward. "Here we go." The beast saw them too. The first drone fired a plasma bolt. the beast swirled sharply to the side, dodging the shot with surprising speed. Its massive body moved like a shadow between the trees. Rylan held on tightly. "You're fast for someone your size." The beast roared as a drone swooped down, firing again. The plasma blast hit a tree, exploding it into burning pieces. The forest lit up with sparks and smoke. The beast didn't run. It charged Dodd. It leaped forward, claws tearing through soil, and slammed its tail into the drone mid-flight. The machine shattered like glass, scattering metal scraps. 2 more drones descended. Rylan yelled, "Left!" The beast obeyed instantly, swinging its enormous weight to the side. The drone shots missed and hit the ground, sending clouds of dirt flying. Rylan grabbed a broken branch from the ground as the beast passed. He braced himself. When a drone flew close, he threw the branch like a spear. The drone spun out of control, smashing into a tree. The beast gave him a quick, approving grunt. Rylan smirked. Teamwork. But the forest wasn't clear yet. Ahead, 3 alien hunters stood on a hill, heavy cannons glowing with bright blue light. Rylan's heart pounded. Oh no, the cannons fired. 3 plasma bolts shot straight toward them. The beast growled and crouched. Then it did something insane. It jumped, with muscles shaking and wings of dust exploding beneath it. The creature leaped high above the plasma fire. The energy bolts tore through empty air. The beast landed behind the hunters with a quake, before the soldiers could turn WAM. One swing of its massive leg knocked all 3 flying like rag dolls. Their cannons fell uselessly to the ground. Rylan looked down at the unconscious hunters. "You saved me again." The beast lowered its head proudly. They kept moving deeper into the forest, leaving chaos, shock, and broken metal behind them. Every alien watching from the base stared in disbelief. The creature wasn't just obeying the human. It was following him, protecting him, fighting beside him. A living legend reborn, and Rylan? He wasn't just surviving the wild zone anymore. He was commanding it. Asterisk for 2 full days. The alien colony lived in silence. No signal from Rylan. No heat signature of the beast. No movement inside the wild zone. Most aliens believed the same thing. The human was dead. Some officers laughed. Some placed bets. Some even congratulated each other. Humans are fragile. He'd probably lasted 5 minutes. His bones are somewhere under a tree now. Even the alien general who sent Rylan on the mission announced, "Move on. The human has failed." But there was one problem. The forest refused to calm down. Every few hours, tremors shook the ground. Birds fled in massive clouds. Strange. Lights flashed deep inside the trees. Something powerful was moving out there, but no one knew what, or rather, no one wanted to know. For aliens, ignorance was safer. By the end of day 2, a thick fog covered the colony. Soldiers stood guard with weapons ready, but they looked nervous. The wild zone felt alive, too alive. Even the machines started picking strange readings. A young alien technician stared at his monitor. "Sir, something huge is approaching." The general snorted. "Probably another beast. Prepare the cannons." "No, sir, this movement pattern, it's different." The general rolled his eyes. "Fine, show me." The screen flickered. Multiple trees were shaking. Ground vibration was increasing. Something massive was walking directly toward the alien gates. The general frowned. "Zoom in." The camera drone pushed through the mist and froze. A shape. Large, towering, moving with heavy steps. The general's voice cracked. "That can't be. The Titan beast is still alive." The technician swallowed. "Yes, and it's coming straight for us." Cannons activated. Sirens screamed. Aliens ran across the walls, panicking. "Arm the weapons! Get everyone inside! The beast is coming!" But then, the drone caught something impossible. A smaller figure sat on top of the giant silhouette, calm, balanced, human-shaped, double quote. The technician whispered, "Someone is riding it." The general almost dropped his tablet. No, that's impossible. Humans cannot. They cannot control. They cannot be. But before he could finish, the fog broke open, and everyone outside the colony walls saw it. A giant beast emerged from the forest, walking slowly, powerfully, like a king returning to. His throne, its armor-like skin glowed under the moonlight. Its eyes burned with calm fire. Each step shook the earth, and on its back Rylan, alive, sitting confidently, riding the galaxy's most feared creature. The silence that fell over the colony was colder than space. No one breathed. No one blinked. No one understood anything anymore. Rylan raised one hand casually. "Hey, miss me?" The aliens didn't know whether to scream, hide, salute, or faint. The general stumbled backward. How are you alive?" Rylan patted the beast's neck. "Turns out your monster wasn't the problem. Your attitude was." The beast growled, not threatening, but warning. The alien soldiers jumped back, trembling. The general shouted, voice shaking, "Human, stand down. That creature will kill us all." Rylan smirked. "No, it won't." The beast lowered its head obediently, letting Rylan slide off. He landed softly on the ground. Aliens stared. Even the wind stopped. Rylan walked forward, standing between the aliens and the giant creature like a commander protecting his soldier. He spoke loudly. Clearly, this creature didn't attack for fun. It attacked because you wounded it first. He pointed at the general. "You sent me to die. I chose to live." The general swallowed hard. "You tamed it." Rylan shook his head. "No, I earned its trust." The beast stepped forward. Aliens trembled, rifles shaking in their hands. The creature lowered itself beside Rylan like a loyal guardian bowing to its master. Every alien gasped. The technician whispered. He didn't tame it. He befriended it. Rylan crossed his arms. "I'm returning from your suicide mission with the same creature you failed to kill, because you never tried to understand it." The general opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Rylan gave a hard stare. "For 2 days, I survived with it, protected it, healed it, and it protected me in return." The beast growled softly, confirming his words. The aliens looked at Rylan, with horror and awe mixed in their eyes. This wasn't just a human anymore. This was something far scarier. A human with a monster on his side. A human the galaxy should never underestimate. Rylan stepped closer and said, "I completed your mission, and came back with a friend." He placed his hand on the beast's head. The creature closed its eyes peacefully. Aliens stood speechless. The general whispered, barely audible, "What kind of human are you?" Rylan smiled. "The kind you shouldn't have sent to die." Asterisk. The entire alien colony stood frozen. Thousands of eyes stared at the giant beast kneeling beside Rylan, its massive body calm, its glowing eyes gentle. No alien had ever seen the creature like this. No alien had ever seen a human lead anything much less a titan beast. The general stepped back, trembling. This should not be possible. Rylan folded his arms, completely relaxed, as if returning from a simple walk rather than surviving the wild zone. Aliens whispered. He rode the beast. He survived alone for 2 days. The creature listens to him. No alien commander can do that. The general tried to regain control. Human, move away. The creature is still dangerous. Rylan raised a brow. Dangerous? Maybe, but not to me. The beast lowered its head, until its forehead touched Ryland's shoulder, an act so gentle, so respectful, it felt unreal. The alien soldiers gasped. One soldier dropped his weapon. Another took a step backward and whispered, almost fearfully, "He commands it, like a king." Ryland chuckled. "No, it's not commanded. It's my friend." The word friend echoed across the courtyard. The aliens looked at each other, confused, shocked, frightened. But then, the beast did something that shook the galaxy. It turned toward the alien general, stood tall like a moving mountain, and let out a single warning roar that rattled the metal walls and pushed air like a storm. The general fell flat onto his back. Some soldiers dropped to their knees. Others ran behind structures. Ryland placed a calm hand on the beast's leg. "That's enough. He gets the message." The beast stopped instantly. Aliens watched in terror. This wasn't control. This was respect, bond, trust, and it was stronger than any weapon they had. Suddenly, a group of alien elders, high-ranking leaders with glowing robes, hurried into the courtyard. They looked at the beast, then at Ryland, then back at the beast. One of them whispered, "This creature has killed hundreds for centuries, yet it bows to a human?" Another elder said, "He was sent on a suicide mission. He returned with the impossible." The head elder stepped forward. "Human Ryland, how did you tame the Titan beast?" Ryland shrugged lightly. "I didn't tame it. I helped it." The elder blinked. "You mean compassion?" "Yeah," Ryland said. "You should try it sometime." Alien soldiers flinched at the boldness. The general turned red with anger. "You dare disrespect the council? You are just The beast took one heavy step forward. Boom. The general's words died in his throat. He raised his hand slowly. I meant no offense," Ryland sighed. "I'm tired, hungry, and this guy needs rest. Can we skip the drama?" Aliens blinked. No one had ever talked like this before. An elder nodded quickly. "Of course. Anything you request." The general's jobbed. "Anything?" The elder snapped at him. "Do you want to get crushed? Say nothing." Ryland's MIRKED. As Ryland walked through the colony, the beast slowly followed beside him. Every alien stopped whatever they were doing. Workers dropped tools. Pilots froze mid-step. Children hid behind their parents. Even the war machines turned their sensors toward Ryland and the creature. Whispers followed him everywhere. That human healed it. He saved it, and it saved him. This changes everything. Maybe humans are not as weak as we thought. No, they're worse. They're unpredictable. Ryland ignored all the staring. He patted the beast's leg. "You hungry, big guy?" The creature let out a soft grunt. Alien onlookers nearly fainted. Did he just talk to it? And it responded? Ryland looked over his shoulder. "What? You all act like you've never seen friendship before." The entire colony fell silent. No one had a response. Not one. Hours later, a meeting was called. Ryland stood in front of the alien council. The beast lay behind him like a giant guardian statue. The elder spoke carefully. "Human Ryland, we misjudged. Today, you showed us something we did not believe possible." Ryland crossed his arms. "You sent me to die." "That's the truth." The elder lowered his head. "Yes, it is." Ryland looked at the general. "You wanted to prove humans are weak." The general swallowed. "And I was wrong." The beast growled. The general jumped. "I was very wrong." Ryland smirked. The elder spoke again. "From this day, the Titan beast will no longer be hunted. You have proven it can understand peace." Ryland nodded. "Good, because if you ever hurt it again." The beast rose to its full height. The ground shook. Aliens backed away instantly. Ryland finished. "You will have to deal with both of us." The elder bowed. Every alien bowed. Not to the beast, to the human who changed everything. As Raylan walked back toward the forest, the beast crouched again, offering him a ride. Raylan smiled, climbed on, and said, "Let's go home, buddy." The beast roared, not in anger, but in triumph, shaking the sky itself. Aliens watched with wide eyes, stunned, afraid, amazed, and speechless. Some whispered, "A human returned with a monster as a pet." Others whispered, "No, that's not a pet. He's a legendary guardian." And one alien technician said the line that would spread across the galaxy. Their faces, when he returned with the beast, were priceless.